Lumbini as a thought came to our minds looking at the housing sector across Delhi and NCR. There was something missing amongst the housing that was coming up across NCR. And we started exploring what could be missing. Lumbini, which is related to a good life and the lessons that one could learn from Buddha himself, were things that were coming across into our mind. And what we started thinking was that why not provide a housing community which would bring people together, which would bring middle class people, which would bring a lot of young people coming together, and create an environment, create a habitat which would have the green spaces, have the right kind of amenities, make sure that it was a healthy environment. There would be places where a lot of sporting activities could happen, and these are the kind of things we added into Lumbini as a product. Lumbini as a name fits well because this is where Lord Buddha started his life. And we thought this would be the most appropriate name for our community. What comes to my mind immediately as the first USP of Lumbini is the fact that it has much more green than any other housing complex in this area. Lumbini offers you the highest per capita green amongst most of the housings in this sector, primarily to make it viable for the end user. Where when you buy flats, you're left with terraced, concreted balconies. Here, we wanted to give that person a special terrace of his own personal lawn. So every unit, which is 270 units of Lumbini, has the possibility of having your own lawn where you can garden, grow your own fruits and vegetables if you want to, teach your children how to do gardening, and essentially live a holistic and fulfilling life. The second aspect that comes to my mind is the appropriate pricing. After all, every investor is eventually linked to the kind of money he spends on the housing that he buys. So we sensitively examined the kind of pricing that was working in the entire NCR zone, the kind of pricing that was working in Gurgaon as a sector, and then approached the pricing very sensitively to offer to the customer the right price. So the second aspect is the price that comes into mind. The third is the location of this particular housing community. It lies in between two very prominent housings. One is, of course, Shobha Developers that is coming up. So the kind of ambience you get in this area is excellent. The kind of facilities very close to Lumbini, which I call the Abadi, is there. There are schools very close to Lumbini. There are hospitals very close to Lumbini. The second thing is how we priced it. It's very sensitively priced to work for someone who's a working class member. He earns his living, he has a space for the family. So if you look at our balconies, if you look at the Lumbini balconies, they are huge. These balconies can accommodate almost 30 to 40 people at any given point of time. They have their own lawn. So sitting in your balcony, you can actually enjoy the feeling of a house in Jorbagh that has those lush green lawns, that has the Zen garden, the possibility of you looking over green spaces. And the fact that it's located in between Shobha, that is developing a low rise structure, and on the other side once again, which is a low rise structure of other communities coming up, it gives you completely an open feeling and an open ambience in and around your house. The third aspect, so Lumbini is located as sector 109, which is a prominent sector, lies between Dwarka and Palam Vihar of Gurgaon, very close to it. You can easily go walking across and go and do your shopping at any of the Palam Kendras, at any of the shopping Kendras that are established by Ansal. You can get your support staff very easily in this area because essentially the entire area has a population. So where will your maid come from? Which is a very big question. And Lumbini has that kind of vicinity where, while you are uh, conveniently packed in lush greens and conveniently packed in planned areas, you have certain areas around you from where your support staff will become. Lumbini is a fantastic combination of convenience and pricing. It's very close to the Dwarka sectors, which is Delhi, and close to the already existing first established Gurgaon sectors of Ansal and Palam Vihar. This allows you to have the access to shopping centers, access to hospitals, and schools which are close by, making it an ideal place for people to come and stay. The kind of construction measures and policies that we are following towards getting this building up is to make sure that what we promised is delivered. The kind of materials used, the contractor being used, is selected through a very stringent procedure and methodology. We've got Ahluwalia contracts who were selected after 7 other contractors bid for this particular project, out of which a few were Shapurji Polanji. We had L&T also that had bid, Simplex, and finally we chose Ahluwalia primarily because of its goodwill in this market and one of the other projects that it has delivered already. With that promise, we started this particular project where the kind of materials being supplied from BRISC are of the finest quality. Steel that is being used is Tata or JSW, which is primary steel and costs a little bit more than other steel, but we've decided to use this in the project. We are providing cement, which is also of perfect quality, which is OPC grade 43. And we've got, with the combination of both these components, we are sure that our structure was stable and the contractor was doing a good job. The other components and elements that we've added and which I would like to just put forward is a very, very high quality lift that we've taken in of Japanese technology. Fujitech is providing us with a lift in this project. We are looking at tiles and we are looking at other components coming from branded agencies like Kajaria. We are looking at Kohler providing us with the fixtures and fittings. So all in all, what we are looking at is providing what we had committed, which is quality and in time. 3 very critical things that go into any project is time, quality, and cost. And these are all interlinked. We are following very stringent procedures where we've got CRISIL that is rating us and looks at our procedures and looks at our construction timelines very strongly. This has helped us ensure that we are on time. Out of the 75% projects which are getting delayed in NCR, we are one of the few projects in the 25% category which are running on time. And we are very proud of that without compromising any quality. Lumbini was designed keeping in mind the customer needs, how the family would work, how would the spaces be utilized. Eventually making it a product which is worthy of investment and something that is of great utility value. This makes it a great investment opportunity as well, firstly. Secondly, the zone in which it lies, which is sector 109 of Gurgaon, is one of the finest sectors amongst the new sectors of Gurgaon. And given the kind of price escalations that have occurred here, the future holds very good for Lumbini. And the other point in terms of investment that's very critical is the pricing at which this particular product is available to you. It will definitely escalate because the other projects that are coming around in this sector are priced much higher. So if you procure this particular unit at the price that BRISC is offering, it's bound to fetch you the benefits that you're looking.